I'm Cathy Thomas. Hungry? Oh, you bet. I welcome Chef Vincent Terusa, Executive Chef at Selanne Steakhouse in Laguna Beach. He will reveal the secrets to making his oh-so-popular scallops with pickled mushrooms, black garlic, and cauliflower puree. Bring it on. Chef, this dish has such beautiful flavors and they're balanced so beautifully.
Yes, I mean, they're really nice scallops, some Pacific diver scallops. They're super sweet. I think it pairs really nice with the earthiness of the cauliflower, and then obviously the acidic pan sauce that we're gonna make with the black garlic. I think it's beautiful.
Ugh, can hardly wait. Let's get started.
Let's do it. We're gonna start by making the cauliflower puree. This happens to be rapeseed oil, anything that's flavorless. We are gonna start by sweating the cauliflower just a bit, just to take the rawness out of it.
You've trimmed these so that there's not much stem on them.
Yeah, I did trim them nice, but the stem does actually make for a good puree.
Right.
But again, we're not trying to really brown anything.
Yeah.
And then, so that we don't burn the onion, we'll add them secondarily.
And these are sweet onions?
They are sweet onions. We're gonna be pureeing it. They don't have to be nice, you know, uniform chopped, just need to be the right size so they cook all at the same temperature. But if you're in a hurry and it's gonna get pureed anyway.
Yeah. And could this be the basis of a soup?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Add cream to it or add broth to it?
Either one. I tend to lean towards cream when I'm going with root vegetables, but either one would work.
Whatever you've got on hand.
Exactly. We're not trying to put any color on them. And the way you stop the color from happening is to keep them moving around, or you probably would know you can put a lid on it so they're steaming more.
But keep an eye on them.
You gotta keep an eye on them. And I think we'll go ahead and start adding the cream, the favorite of the chefs. And just enough to cover. When we puree this, it's very easy to remove any excess so that you get the right consistency for a good puree. And then we're just gonna let this simmer. It's probably gonna take 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, I would imagine.
All right, time to puree, Chef?
Time to puree. I think we're gonna season first, pretty minimally in the beginning. So just a couple pinches of salt, and then white pepper. White food, white pepper, is what we always say. And then this is just really about getting the correct consistency. A nice slotted spoon to drain the liquid so you can control the thickness of it by adding liquid.
Yeah, you can always add more, but it's hard to take it out.
You can never take it out.
That's a good rule for sauces and for soups.
And for seasoning, same thing. And then we'll just transfer some of this liquid in. Let's start with this and see what happens.
All right. I know good things are gonna happen.
Always make sure you start it on low. You don't want any explosions. It looks like it's starting to go pretty well. I'd say that's about it. So now we'll just season it up a little bit more. We'll give it a taste.
It tastes so deliciously creamy, but I think it needs a little salt.
It does. That's why we always season lightly in the beginning. A little bit more pepper, I think, as well. All right, and put it back on the blender. Just get that salt throughout. And I think that should do it.
Beautiful. Look at that.
These are Pacific diver scallops. They're U8s, actually, the bigger size. That's the way we like to do them at the restaurant. There's always a flat side and then there's a round side because one of the shells on the scallops is flat, right? So we always go presentation side down first, and that's that flat side. You'll get a better sear that way.
You taught me something.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Flat side down.
Flat side down all the time. Again, we're gonna season pretty generously on both sides, because we're gonna lose a little bit of it in the searing process. Just till that oil starts to shimmer a bit, right before it smokes, which is where we are right now. We'll put them in.
That's the sound you want.
That's the sound. Every pan and stovetop is different, so you want to chase the oil around. Wherever the oil goes is kind of where you want to be.
And is it better to do a smaller number at a time?
You definitely don't want to crowd the pan. You don't want to be steaming them at all. And then we're just going to watch these scallops, not fuss with them too much.
And what are you looking for in the middle?
I just want them to just warm through. That's it. Very easy to overcook scallops. It can, you can go literally 10 to 15 seconds too long. You'll notice they'll start to brown on one edge, and then you can see the color change go through the scallop on the raw side.
Yeah.
And we try not to use tongs when we're handling seafood.
Why?
You don't want to crush them. It's gentle, right? You want to be pretty delicate. We have a nice, good sear on these. They're looking fantastic. And like I said, I think we're going to start at least building our sauce, because these are only going to take about another minute or so. So in with the bunapis. Get a little color on them. And so now you can see that the opaque has kind of worked its way all the way through to the center of the scallop. You can see just slightly raw in the center, 1 pat of butter, a couple sprigs of thyme. Turn down the heat or maybe even off. We're just gonna finish these in a butter baste.
Oh, yum.
We're picking up all the fond off of the scallops and already infusing them with the mushrooms, starting to build that sauce.
Whoever first thought of basting with butter is a real hero.
A real hero. Time to rest.
Perfect.
Let them drain off. So now this butter's, slightly browned, so we'll discard it. We'll also discard the thyme. And then we'll start building the rest of this sauce. In with some black garlic.
And this is garlic that's been fermented.
Yeah, fermented or just heavily roasted. I've seen it done a number of ways. If you think about regular roasted garlic, this is just the next level of sweetness. It's amazing. So just a pinch of regular garlic and some shallot.
Oh yeah, we gotta have shallot.
You have to. We'll just let that sweat for about 30 seconds. And then we're gonna add some white balsamic vinegar.
And this is where the pickling comes in.
Exactly, just a very quick pickled mushroom sauce. So I like to actually add it right over top of the black garlic, just so we get some of that color change immediately. Yeah. And we're just gonna let this reduce. What I like to do is actually turn the heat off. Because you want the butter to emulsify, you don't want it to separate. So we're just gonna keep it working around.
Look at that, oh, it's beautiful.
Isn't it? What you don't want to do is leave that pat of butter in there and not move it around, because as you can see, it'll just separate, and then you'll wind up with a greasy sauce. We don't want that at all.
We want a nice emulsification.
Exactly. We have our beautiful cauliflower puree, and you could plate it up however you find appropriate. We'll add our scallops. And then it's just this beautiful sauce. So in the restaurant, we want to make sure that everything is showing all the time. We'll finish it with a little dehydrated porcini powder.
Ooh, some umami in that.
Yeah, right? And then some chervil for that nice anisey flavor. And this is it. This is how we do it every day.
Chef, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for teaching me this dish. I think I'm going to make it tomorrow night.
Oh, my pleasure. It was an absolute treat.
Here's a quick tip from Melissa's. The counterpoint of sweet port-infused roasted grapes and tangy cheese make these nibbles a delectable treat. They can be served as appetizers or as an after-dinner cheese course. I'm using red Moscatos. Packed with floral accents, these beauties will roast until they start to shrivel in a 400-degree oven. Irresistible with a frisky cheese. A blue cheese spread is smeared atop small portions of toasted bread and then topped with a generous scoop of the roasted orbs. The sharp, salty taste of the blue cheese is cut by adding a little mascarpone cheese. Delicious.